ShiftCare scheduler is actually the first thing you see every single time you sign into your ShiftCare account. And there's quite a bit of functionality, different filters, different views that can be used to just keep things organized, as well as get some insight into what's going on with your staff and your clients, things like that. So the first thing you'll notice on the left-hand side of my screen here is actually my list of clients. And then on the actual scheduler is going to be my staff members with their assigned shifts. Now, I can actually swap that view if I come up to client and I click on staff. I'll then see my staff members on the left-hand side and all of my clients with the shifts on the scheduler. A couple things to note just on the left-hand side with the staff members is you can actually see the hours that they've been scheduled out for the week. And if you take a good look at Elaine Bennis here, you'll see that she is flashing red. So that 41 hours that she's been scheduled for is red. This is because in Elaine's profile, I have it set to 40 hours. So it's just letting me know that she's been scheduled over that 40 hours. This definitely comes in handy when it comes to staff retention, just because you don't want to overwork your employees. Maybe you don't want them to go into overtime. So being able to keep tabs on how many hours that you've scheduled for them allows you to kind of manage that, as well as on the contrary, if you look at Jerry Seinfeld, he's only been scheduled for a little over 4 hours for the week. Now, when it comes to staff retention, making sure that they're not being overworked, but that they're still getting enough work and getting paid is going to be important in just maintaining that retention of your staff members. So it kind of goes both ways there. If I actually switch back to the client view, I get the same type of functionality where I can see the hours scheduled for the week for my clients. In addition to being able to see the hours, you'll actually notice that both Chandler Bing and Joey Tribbiani actually have they have like a little eyeball with a slash through it. That's going to be any private notes that you set up in the client's profile that can then be viewed on the scheduler. If I just go ahead and hover over that, I'll actually see that Chandler Bing has stage 5 dementia. This client has stage 5 dementia. That's going to be pretty helpful when it comes to a scheduler, someone who's just working with the schedule. Maybe they don't quite, maybe not quite informed into the condition of every single client. They can quickly get a little insight and then pair up that client with a care worker that is going to be appropriate for them. So it really helps kind of increase the quality of care if you're the scheduler and you don't quite have that insight. Now, as far as a couple other different views that we can walk through. So for starters, if I look up here where it says shift count, right now I have my scheduler set up so it's going to show me first at the top here. It's going to go from top to bottom, showing me the clients that have the most shifts scheduled. And then if I go ahead and switch that view over from shift count to alphabetical order, it'll then show them in alphabetical order. And it'll do the same on the client side as well, or on the staff side, excuse me. Now, a couple other filters that I can use. So I can actually filter out by the status of the shift. So whether I want to see all the shifts that have been canceled for the week, it'll show me that, as well as I can do everything that's been invoiced for the week, all the shifts that have been approved. So like we've approved their timesheets, as well as everything that's booked. And then anything that's going to be pending, we can actually filter out by as well. And you'll actually notice two different colors here. So you get the red that's showing no staff is selected for these particular shifts. And then you also have that bluish purplish color here. That's going to be for job board. So I have a filter for job board. If you're not familiar with job board, definitely recommend watching one of the other videos about it. Job board is a way to push out shifts to staff members through the mobile app, and they actually have access to the job board where they can see any open shifts, but we can filter out by that as well. In addition to filtering out by the status, it can be really helpful to filter out by the shift type. So if you go into your account settings in your ShiftCare account, you can actually customize these different shift types based on the types of services that your business might be providing. So you can customize it, and we can filter out the scheduler by it. So if I just wanted to view all the shifts that were labeled with personal care, You can also customize the coloring as well. If I wanted to do respite care, I could see all the shifts associated with respite care or labeled respite care, support coordination, for example. So really helpful way to kind of view the calendar, stay organized, view the scheduler, excuse me. In addition to that, I can actually view my scheduler on a weekly basis as well as a daily basis, and then fortnightly is a term for over a 2 week span. So if I want a little insight into what next week's schedule looks like, I'll be able to see that view as well. And then down here at the bottom, I have a basic view. So I can actually go ahead and click basic and it'll take away that left-hand bar that's showing the clients or the staff members. And instead you'll just get the days and it'll show you all the shifts associated with that particular day. This little calendar here in the right-hand corner, if you go ahead and click that, that'll be really helpful for if maybe you want to view a shift. Let's say I'm in April 2023. I want to view a shift from like February. I can actually go back to that day rather than having to smash this button a bunch of times. I can go ahead and click February 8th and it'll take me straight to that date. Another additional view that a lot of my clients really like is a view called Tabular, which if you come over to views here and you click this drop down, it allows you to toggle on Tabular view. Now, this is a pretty unique and helpful view because it's going to show a list, more of a list of all the shifts associated with that particular time frame. So if I shift that over to a daily view in Tabular, we'll go to today. I can actually see a list view of all the shifts that have been scheduled. And this is really helpful when it comes to getting insight into the shifts that are occurring that day. And like you can get a live feed essentially of people clocking in and out of the shifts, as well as uploading mileage, expenses, progress notes. You can see down here at the bottom, it's going to actually show the clock in time as well as the clock out time. If someone hasn't clocked out yet, it'll show that. But it just lets you really stay organized and be able to monitor the shifts throughout the day. In addition to that, on the left-hand side, you'll see they can, when mileage gets uploaded, that's going to be in here, as well as any expenses or any kind of progress notes that get added. That type of information is going to show up here in real time as it gets added through the mobile app.